and I have 2 adult children. Now I have a presentation, so I'm just gonna share the presentation with you guys. Okay, just and this is one thing that I'm lacking in is my my skills with when it comes to like technology. All right, so just bear with me, and so I can share it with you. Okay, Josh, thank you.
I made you the co-host.
Thank you. I think I'm going to be successful this time, not like the last time I spoke. Okay, so tell me if you guys can see my screen.
I can see it.
Can everybody see?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So why did I call this the new me? Bigger, bolder, and better. I'm going to go through that with the slides. Okay. Now, before I had, my weakness was really recruiting. And the reason being is because, you know, I'm Filipino, and our community is completely infested with companies that actually encourage people to purchase these cash value life insurance policies. And they would recruit heavily within the community. Now, I didn't want to be associated with them. Okay. I just was like, okay, I don't want to be that person that is just trying to recruit. Now, as much as it was pushed within the company, I just, you know, for like, you know, I recruited here and there, but I wasn't very, I would say, effective in that aspect. So what changed? Well, everybody knows, I think all of you know Samir. Samir is my RVP, and he recruited me directly, and he had actually taken me to the trip to the Bahamas earlier this year in February. And that was a game changer for me, because I heard numerous speakers, and it really hit me right where I needed it. Now, with all the speakers that were there, I mean, I heard like tidbits from everybody, and I learned a little bit from everyone. But what really opened my eyes like wide were Mike Bradbury, Elizabeth Koob, and Ronnie Barnes. Now, Mike Bradbury was a retired Marine Corps, and he's a police officer. And he told me, he said during his talk that he has been spat on, he has been stabbed at, he had been shot at, like, I mean, all these things. And he said when he joined the company and he started recruiting people, he said the worst that they could say is no. And that kind of like stuck with me. And I'm like, that's right. You know, you can offer, you can ask people. And it really did hit me at that point. Now, Elizabeth Koob is she's been with the company for a very long time. And she was actually a former nurse. And again, that's the correlation that I have, is we're both nurses. And she said that, you know, you have to really sit down with people and start with telling them exactly why we do what we do, which is we really truly help families the right way. And then I was like, yeah, I mean, I never start like that. I just kind of like, you know, talk about my story. But I think that was a way that I could attract more people to listen to me. And then Ronnie Barnes, I think he was one of the founding fathers of Primerica, and he actually said, recruit the world. And I was like, you know what? What am I doing with myself? Why do I keep resisting the recruiting? And I said, you know what? And then I figured it out. I was like, the more I recruit, the more people I can really help. And I couldn't do it by myself. Now, I was producing numbers, but I was producing numbers by myself. And what a difference it would really make for me and for the people, the community, because if I had more legs, then I would be able to spread the word more, I guess, more forcefully and more, more forcefully and more, like just spread it like wildfire, right? So what have I done? What have I done differently? Well, then there you go. I started recruiting. So I started like just sending messages daily to people from all over the United States. And I said, you know, I introduced the opportunity, but this time with more passion than I already had within me. And and again, if they said no, then what, I would say, well, this is something to think about. You don't have to do it right now. But, I just started calling people and texting people and Facebook messaging people. And, I did get a good response. Now, last year, right, I had about 14 recruits actually for 2 years. And this right now, and I know this doesn't sound very telling, but right now, as of today, I have 20, and which is not much, because I know people are trying to recruit double digits, and I'm still lacking in that. But the difference that I've had with the recruiting now is I've actually put more time in the recruits that I've had. And now I actually do my weekly trainings with my group, and I call it the Team Busted, because my last name is Bustamante, and the reason I associate with Busted is because we're trying to bust all those cash value life insurance policies, which we've been very successful with, and Busted because I want us to like bust some records as well. And before, I used to go to Saturday training like by myself before the COVID. But now I actually have my recruits attending, and I think right now I have anywhere between 8 to 10 attending every Saturday. But this time they're actually attending also with the same passion that I have. And I don't know if you guys attended the training with Clarissa May Fleming, and she encouraged starting a private group on Facebook. So my private Facebook group is Boost Your Bucks, and it's with honest financial coaching. And right, so far, my membership, I think I have about 186 people. And I just started this like last month. So, and what I do on that group is I just kind of give tidbits about and advice, not advice, but like coaching about, I guess advice about finances, right? Savings, insurance, anything that has to do anything with finance, and helping people just kind of get educated so that they don't feel like it's something that they can't learn. And another thing is I've also been very vocal about referrals. And so that has really, really helped me. Now I have also, with all of my recruits right now, I have 5 people that are already licensed under me. I had 2 last year and they never did anything, but this time I have 2 really two really good recruits so far, and it's continuing to grow. The other ones are seeing now that they're attending the Saturday meetings. I think they realize more, and they're pumped up even more so. Okay, so I want to give you just my pointers. This is the pointers that I have that has helped me become successful somewhat in this business. I have this attitude where I do not have any excuses. Like a lot of people know that I'm one of the busiest people, and I really am very, very busy. And like I said, I work 12-hour day shifts as a nurse. I work 3 days a week, but even when I'm busy, I will make time for all of my recruits. And if they had an appointment, that had a question, whatever it may be, I was always there for them. And even like after, a 12-hour shift, I would actually meet with my team. I do my own training with them at least once a week. And I would touch up on different things. And I would meet with them for at least 30 minutes. And there's, like I said, there's always a topic that I would talk about. Now, why do I say that? I'm the kind of person that I don't use any excuses, because I think people just use excuses because they're, some people are just lazy. They don't want to do it, right? And if it's important enough, you will make time for it. And when I started in this business, I got my life insurance annuities license within 30 days. And then within a year, I was able to pass my Series 6 and 63. And that was with me working 12 hours. I would come home from a 12-hour shift, cook and clean. And then after that, I would still study until like 2 in the morning. And then if I had to work the following day, I would still get up and had to work another 12-hour shift. So, talk about excuses. If you really want to do something, you will definitely find the time to do it. And I think my securities license has really paid off. So all of y'all, you need to work on getting your securities license, okay? Now, I continue to build relationships, right? I've been very successful, I think, with joining different groups, maybe because of my kids' basketball teams in the past. It's it's basically any group. Like my coworkers from the different places that I've been, I'm still in touch with all these people. I mean, there's just so many different groups that you can join that to kind of like spread your business out. And I've been very successful. And the nice thing about it is, for me, like, even when I don't like join a group in particular, almost always get volunteered to join a group. So I don't really have to make, I have to make time for that, but it's like, it's consistent, like all these groups that are being, especially in our community, we have so many different groups. And, you always have to stay focused and be consistent despite adversities. Now, why is this really important? Because right now, when I say despite adversities, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have my brother-in-law who is only 40 years old. He just turned 40. He's going to be 41 actually this September. He has brain cancer, and he was diagnosed when he was only 39. And it was the worst kind of brain cancer that you can have. It's called glioblastoma, and usually the prognosis is very, very poor, and we've come to the realization that now we're at the point where we're basically waiting. We were told by his doctor that he had less than 4 months to live recently, and but now that has changed to less than 6 weeks. So, and I think the way I'm still focused and I'm still consistent. It doesn't mean that I don't care for my brother-in-law, but I think it's a way for me to just kind of stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it. So anyways, I'm going to keep going.
You're doing amazing, Sheila. We love you. I swear we love you. And this is the type of stories people need to hear. You have no idea how many folks you're inspiring right now. This is going on YouTube. We're so proud of you. Please, please keep going. We love you.
I have an attitude where I don't really care about what people say or think about me, because I know what I'm doing is right. I know I'm helping a lot of families, and I'm so sorry. And I don't care. I know that, the other organizations, the other companies that have these Filipinos that are trying to encourage these cash value, they all hate me right now because I've been replacing their policies left and right. But you know what? I don't care, because what they're doing is wrong and what I am doing is right. All right. Never underestimate the power of a thankful heart. I'm always very thankful.
Tell them what gratitude means to you and how it's changed your business and your life.
I mean, even before this business, I've always been a very thankful person. Like, a lot of people have helped me along the way. I've just always been very thankful. I pray a lot. I do cuss a lot, but I do pray a lot. I'm sorry. But I'm always thankful for anyone, like even the smallest things that they do. It's funny because every time somebody goes out of town, all of my friends, they go out of the country or whatever, they'll always bring me a little something as a souvenir. It's really funny. And then people, like, I love bringing food for people at work, but every single time, people are always like, where's Sheila, always looking for me. And I'm just very thankful. It's like, it's really not the big things, but it's really the little things that matter. And I'm always thankful to God because, God has really guided me through all of this, and my family. And of course, Samir, who has been my mentor. He's actually been my advisor for 15 years now. And he just continues to give me time, every day. I think I text him at least 10 times a day.
Another thing is know how to deal with rejection. And why is that important? Because you are going to get no's, and I've gotten no's too. Not, you know, and again, you just move on. Because again, if you know you're doing the right thing, the right people will say yes to you, or they will realize later on. And the last thing I want to say is I always set goals. Now, it's you know, sometimes you'll meet the goal and sometimes you won't, but you just keep going. And like I've been telling Samir for the past 3 months that I want to make $20,000 in 1 month, one month. And actually, I think I'm there right now. And Josh, I just want to say, you know, you have really inspired me with a lot of the stories. And you can ask Samir. I always ask. I'm so proud of Josh. I'm so happy for Josh and all that. So always set those goals. You know, it's really important. Like for me, like every day I try to at least contact 5 people, whether it's, you know, reviewing their policy or, and even if they don't answer, I just know that it's out there. And eventually people do call me back. And that's how I started to build my business. Sorry guys. Okay, I'll just end it there. Thank you for listening to me. And I hope, you know, any of these pointers would help. And if you have any questions, I guess we can open it up later.
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna open questions up.
Thank you.
100%, and not necessarily just for the people on this Zoom call today, but we're always thinking ahead. And Sheila's gonna grow a massive team over the course of the next decade, and they need to see what is being talked about today. And I have questions of my own that I'm going to ask at the end. So okay. Here, I don't know if you're able to unshare your screen.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Awesome. So team, you just heard from somebody that did make $20,000 in a month. $20,000. You know how, if you make $50,000 per year, okay, which is just above poverty line, like 20,000 above the poverty line, it would take you 5 months to make what Sheila made this week. Don't tell me Primerica doesn't work, guys. Primerica works as long as you work and get better and, you know, improve. And a couple points I took away from Sheila, you know, she goes, I could help more people if I have more legs. That's a decision that she made at a trip. You know, so Samir intelligently invested in, you know, having Sheila in front of the top leaders, and big decisions are always made at big events. She made the best decision she could ever make. Getting licensed in 30 days with life insurance and 1 year with investments is a phenomenal decision, but not like the one to recruit. The decision to recruit, if she is, you know, see, I'm a cusser too, and I have to hold back, right? But if she is determined to put all these cash value, you know, MFers out of business, it's not going to be possible alone. You know, somebody else decided to start a movement 2,000 years ago, and it's just interesting that he didn't start. I mean, he didn't say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it all by myself. Actually, the first order of business for a man named Jesus Christ decided to go and find 12 disciples to help him extend his goals and his movement. And if Jesus Christ himself made that his first order of business, I believe we all should as well. And I'm so proud of Sheila for making that decision. She reached out to everybody. She wasn't nitpicking. Everybody in the country, that she knew. And you can do that now with Zoom. See, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that before. You should reach out to everybody with no hesitation. No hesitation. We even have a video that you can send out now. You don't even have to really do much talking. I gave more energy to my team. The speed and the passion of the leader equals the speed and the passion of the team. That's what I got from that. Right? She goes, last year I had 2 licensed agents. They didn't do much. Maybe perhaps that's because Sheila was